our recipe was so fast today, I thought we'd have time to do a quick veggie patch tour. So I'll just quickly clean up and then I'll take you outside and show you what I've been getting up to. Now when you come out of the back door, that's where you look up towards the veggie garden. So I'll walk up there and I'll give you a quick look around. Something you'll see pretty regularly at my house is an outside fire burning all the time. We don't have an indoor wood heater, so I love having an outdoor fire going, especially this time of the year, middle of winter. Okay, let's head up to the veggie patch. Now it's been pretty windy here today, so hopefully that doesn't affect us too much. Now this is the hand wash station that I showed you before. The structure was here when we moved in, but it just had a little table and chairs under it. And Steve put a beautiful little hand basin there for me. And it's super, super handy. It's just got cold water to it, but it's so handy when you're out in the garden. You can actually wash your hands before you go into the kitchen. But I'm not happy with all these pots here. It looks a little bit messy. So we have some work to do. And one of them is clean up this area. This bowl that we have down here, we constantly fill that with water, and that's just for the little minor birds and the magpies. They bath in there. I'll tidy it up and hopefully we can get to see that. And then this is their entry to the vegetable garden. Now I have had nothing but trouble with rabbits getting in. So I had a roll of some windbreak material, and that's what that black stuff is. And I have just lightly staked it around the whole perimeter of the vegetable garden, and it seems to be working. The rabbits aren't getting in, so that's a tick for me. I'm still dealing with birds and possums, but I have stopped the rabbits for now. But I didn't put any little openings in it, so we have to step over. And this little bed over to the left here, that's where I try and poke little cuttings and put seedlings in. Now that the rabbits have stopped digging in there, things might stand a chance. But I'll often just dump a packet of petunia seeds or viola seeds, and they come up really well just in this little bed. So in my pots here, growing up this little trellis is a kiwi berry, and it's just started to bud. So hopefully we get a kiwi berry this year. And then I've just taken some cuttings for my geraniums, and then, my plastic snakes. I've got them hanging around and they seem to be working for the birds. So this is about the only thing I've got going in this garden is some Brussels sprouts. And they're doing all right. Look at this. We have some. Now that the rabbits have been just chewing them as far as they could. And then down here, my garlic, they chewed all the tops of the garlic off, which is such a shame because it was my 4th generation garlic and I had loads of it. And now it's looking like I'll probably have to buy some new seed garlic for next year. And under this net here, I tried to grow some peas, but they didn't sprout. My bulbs are starting to come up in the pots. These have strawberries and daffodils. We have 4 of those. And then over here, I cleaned out the glass house yesterday so I can show you in there. So I'll just open it up for you. So this is inside the glass house. I have some garden beds in here that are permanent, and then we have those metal shelves at the back. I would like to get rid of all those metal shelves and just continue this garden box. It is fantastic. As you can see on this side, it doesn't come all the way to the end, but this side comes all the way to the end. So I'm hoping that Steve can extend that for me and then just continue it up into that corner, and we can just make it a U-shape bed in here. And this is so good. Instead of starting my seeds in little trays and things this year, I've put some really good potting mix and some manure in the top of these beds, and I am putting my seeds straight in. So we already have some onion, I have some late peas that I'm starting over there, and then we just have some carnation gerbera mix. And then over on this side, I often just take a couple of little cuttings of my buxus hedge and I stick those in there just so that I can grow a few more. I've got some beet seeds in, and then I have started some more flowers for spring. Now in the glass house here, because we're in a high frost area, I have my kumquats in here, and I was lucky enough when I bought myself a kumquat, when I went to repot it, there was actually 2 in there. So I have one at the end of there and one at the end here, and they absolutely love it in here. They're doing really well. And I have just brought a couple of other citrus in here just to keep them away from the frost. And like I said, we are in a high frost area here, and geraniums do not like the frost. So during the winter time, I cut the geraniums back really hard, and then I just pop all the cuttings straight in the dirt here, and by spring, they'll be ready to go out in all my pots, add some colour to the garden once that last frost is gone. But it's a great way of me getting instant colour in the garden, because I treat the geranium a bit like an annual here. I know it's a perennial for a lot of you, but it does die off in the winter for me. And then at the front of the glass house here, I just have a couple of old pots, and I found some hellebores in the front garden that I've just put into here until they multiply a little bit more. And they are absolutely beautiful. I'll give you a close-up of the flower. Look at that, absolutely stunning. Oh, that one's a bit different, but I love all the pinks. So hopefully they can just multiply and fill up those pots, and then I'll find a beautiful place in the garden. That bucket down there is my snail bucket. It's just got old salty water in it. When I find a snail, I pop it in there. And then looking out from the glass house, we have that garden bed that broke. Remember, I stepped on it and the whole side fell out? Well, Steve just took the top layer off, so now it's just 2 layers high, but that is a really big garden bed, and I'm in the process of moving all the blueberries and the strawberries into that. Now, once again, that I have stopped the rabbits. So that fencing that I was telling you about, it goes all the way around. I also have another 6, about 1,200 by 3 metre garden beds, and I plan on filling them come spring. So the first garden bed that we come to has all my strawberries in it, and they are just sitting dormant over the winter period, and this will be their 2nd year in this plot, so hopefully they do really well. But I've got them netted at the moment just to deter the birds before spring, because they annihilated every green strawberry last year, as well as Ellie. She does love going in there. And that's the big garden bed across the back there. So that I plan on having all my blueberries and all of my strawberries. Now I am moving them out of these birdie gardens. These just are not working out for me where they are. So I'm in the process of moving all of the blueberries and all of the strawberries out of here, putting them over in that bigger garden. And then I have plans on getting Steve to cut these in half, and then I'm going to put them in another area of the garden and put my blackberries and raspberries in them with a bit of a structure so that I can still net. And then to replace these, I just want some more low ones, like this little one and that one that's just there. I just want a nice low one to run all the way up there and replace the birdies. So Steve got the tank water hooked up to the garden. So there's my tap. I have 1 tap at this end and 1 at the other end. And I just water everything with a hose. No irrigation in the veggie patch. And the last veggie garden I had, it just had grass around it and it was easy to mow. But this one already had the rocks around it when we started. So we just continued with the rocks. They do look good, but they're high maintenance. As you can see, I need to get in here and weed. It is a constant battle. I don't like to use Roundup in the garden, but if I had my time again, I would have grass and just mow. It's so much easier. So after the strawberries, I have another 3 garden beds that I've just been cleaning out. And this garden bed here is probably half of dahlias. I plan on having flowers as well as lots of fruit and vegetables in this garden. But I'll show you what the rabbits have been doing. This is the silver beet, and this is what they do, as well as dig up every dahlia bulb, every onion, everything. Things that you wouldn't even think a rabbit would eat. These rabbits eat everything. And then I have these little black trellises, and they have been fantastic. And I have put a small cherry tree either side of these. And don't worry, I'm not going to let them get big. And they might just stay there for a couple of years until I transplant them once they're bigger. And then over here we have the chicken coop, and I'm so happy with it. It's empty at the moment, haven't got the chickens yet, but come spring, I am planning on having 2 or 4 chickens. Now this was just a flat pack chicken coop that we painted first, and then we put it together, brought it over, and it's really, really good. And hopefully you can see in there, we opted to pave the bottom. We've had chicken coops in the past and the chickens make such a mess digging holes and everything in the bottom. So we paved the bottom. I will put mulch and some green litter and straw and things down on the floor for them, but I plan on letting them out into the yard and into the vegetable garden when it suits me, not all the time. This is a garden bed that I still have to get to. I've just thrown a whole heap of things in here to keep them away from the rabbits for now. And then I also have a rose here that grows beautifully up this trellis. Like I said, I'm trying to get a combination of beautiful flowers and vegetables. It was not a good success for me in the garden last year, and I'm really trying hard this season. I've been busy fertilising, watering, and now I will mulch all of these garden beds with my trusty sugarcane mulch. I am such a big fan of sugarcane mulch. It breaks down really well and it becomes soil in no time at all. So I just constantly fill my garden beds up with sugarcane mulch, and by the next season I have more soil. So that's the veggie garden so far, and hopefully it starts to fill up really soon. We are having some warmer days at the moment, but we are still getting really, really low evenings down into the -1s. So we're still due for a fair few frosts, so I'm not going to get ahead of myself. That is what the glass house is for. Speaking of which, we better go and shut it. But these are my Shatsa daisies. They'll be full of flower in no time at all. I know it doesn't look like much yet, but we will have this filled in no time. And hopefully the strawberries and the blueberries are going to be happy over there. But I really love a combination in the garden. Flowers, vegetables, I just love everything really full and growing together. So that's what I'm hoping to do. Have some pretty things as well as all of our edibles. And we didn't get many strawberries last year because of the birds and my lack of netting, obviously. But this time I'm getting ahead of them. And then at the back of the strawberry patch there, we have some beautiful sweet pea, and they'll be flowering very soon and add some beautiful colour to there. And then this is what most of the gardens look like at the moment. There's no leaves on any of the trees. Everything's looking a little bit barren, but I have been trying to get in. Now around the edge here I have some Sweet William, and I have had so much success over the years growing those for cut flowers, except for last year because the rabbits ate them all. But this year I'm hoping that we get some really beautiful flowers. Most of the daffodil bulbs are up and they really add some beautiful colour to the garden, and the camellias are just starting to flower. I have a big bunch of agapanthus there that I need to split up and spread throughout the garden. And then just all the hydrangeas. I'll deadhead those come spring. And then we have a couple of roses over in the back there, but they don't appear to be doing very well, so they might have to be moved. But the bulbs have been fantastic. They add a lot of colour to the garden. It's just unfortunate on this property that they are really spread out. But that's what most of the hydrangeas look like at the moment. And then I'll just give you a close-up of one of my favourite camellias. It is absolutely stunning. It's only a very small tree, but one day this will be full of those flowers. And then when you look up towards the back of the yard, you can see a lot of bulbs up there that I'd like to move further down. And then we're just working on this garden bed here. This was full of annuals last year, and I plan on doing the same, except we need to get some perennials in here now. Otherwise, it's just going to look like that year after year. I'd like it to be full. And the Photinia hedge is going to work really well as a border around the garden. And this Spartan here that I brought with me from the other property is looking fantastic. And then the hedge on the back side of the vegetable garden there is Pittosporum. And the lemon tree over the back there has still got that dodgy net on it, but it is working. The cockatoos are not getting my lemons. So there's the veggie garden. I hope you enjoyed the update, and hopefully the next update I have more things in the garden to show you. But it is only early August here. We're still in our winter. So a few more weeks, but in the meantime, I can hang out in my little glass house, getting some seeds starting going, and that's always an exciting thing. So I hope you enjoyed the garden update, and I'll see you for the next one. Hopefully it's not too long before the garden starts to look pretty again.